Hello and welcome. You are live with Sandra at It's All About Choices, and welcome to Nutrition Lunch and Learn. And you are live. And I appreciate those who take the time to tune in live with me and join me every week. I am so appreciative. I love tuning into this platform and being able to reach more people. And this week, I have the pleasure of dishing out your weekly dose of nutrition wellness news for your mind, your body, and your soul. And I hope that everybody had a wonderful weekend. I hope that you're enjoying your day as well. And for those who are listening to the replay, I thank you for taking time out of your schedule to stop and pause and just take a little self-care time to get a little information that will help you in your journey as well with health, with wellness, with weight loss, but just to help you with your overall life goals. And so give me a few minutes as I get my window set up. Those that know me know that I love having engagement. And so I love having the opportunity to speak and see who's on with me live, and so that I can communicate with you in real time. So give me a second to get my windows together and I will have the ability to see who's on. And so as you are tuning in, please feel free to say hello to me, where you're tuning in from, and just all right, so I got those two windows set up. So thank you so much for giving me that little heads up, a little moment to do that. All right, so we're good to go now. And so we are continuing on our theme, attacking the holiday weight gain head on. So we want to start early, right? So it's around the corner. So now is a good time to get started on that and start thinking about that and not fear. A lot of times my clients fear going into the holidays because they're like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? I don't want to gain all the weight back that I lost, or just fear that they won't be able to get through the holidays without derailing everything that they've worked so hard to do. And so that's what I'm here for. And so this series is about surviving the holidays and enjoying the holidays and not feeling like you have to miss out and without having the added weight gain, right? And so questions. So we're going to talk today specifically about how do you avoid gaining the holiday weight gain in the first place? Because to me, the holidays really starts to kick off around the end of this month when we have candy and all that. Even if we don't really celebrate Halloween per se, the candy is around, the candy's on sale, and the candy is in abundance. So it's there tempting us every single day. So it kind of starts then. So do you find yourself dreading the last 2 or 3 months of the year? For some, they dread the holiday craziness. For others, it's the family craziness. And the most inevitable is the weight gain. And so tune in. I'm going to reveal common holiday mistake number 3. And I will review 1 and 2, but we're going to talk about number 3 today and how you can avoid how can you enjoy the holidays and enjoy your favorite foods and still lose weight, or just maintain. That's usually what I tell my clients. Realistically, you want to maintain because you are eating more than what you need to eat for weight loss, but you also don't want to feel like you're missing out. So for those who don't know me, my name is Sandra Goltry, and I am a registered dietitian, certified personal trainer, and your accountability partner. And I help adults overcome that sense of frustration, overwhelm associated with maybe many failed attempts at losing weight, keeping it off, and just overall improving your health status. And the goal is to come away with long-term lifestyle habits. We don't want a Band-Aid. We don't want a quick fix. We want something that's going to last throughout the different seasons of your life. So that's really what it's all about. And so as you're tuning in, please chime in, say hello to me, say where you're tuning in from, and let me know, are you looking forward to the holidays? Are you looking forward to that? And so we will jump right on in to the topic, which is how do you avoid the holiday weight gain? Okay. And so those who know me know I always have my poll question. Okay. So here's the official question. So are you ready? Is this topic relatable? Okay. Are you excited? Are you excited about the holidays? Are you indifferent about the holidays? That's kind of me. It's just, I've gotten to the point where, beyond the reason for the season, it's just all the holiday stuff is kind of like, okay, we do it. Or bah humbug, like you just only want to be bothered with it. All maybe the traffic, the stores being crazy, things like that. So a lot of times people have different perspectives on the holiday. So let me know where you fit in all of that. All right, so the holiday roundup. So let's talk about the holiday roundup. So it's that time of the year, extra calories are around the corner. So we're tempted in all different fronts during this time of the year. And these add up, these extras add up. And luckily, if you're lucky, you may come out of the holiday season, which I say is really October through January because I include the Super Bowl. So through January, and if you gain 1 or 2 pounds, then you're doing good. You're doing good. But unfortunately, most of us put on way more than 1 or 2 pounds. And so, according to researchers at the National Institute of Health, most Americans do not lose the weight that they put on during the winter months. Okay, they don't lose it, and actually, you add to that over the course of the year. And so those pounds add up year after year, making the holiday weight gain an even important factor in the adult obesity epidemic that we're dealing with. And so, but you don't have to fall into that trap. Okay, it is possible to enjoy your holiday goodies and your treats without putting on a single pound. It is possible. So portion control is key. So we talk about that. You probably hear that a lot, but what does that really mean? And so saying it and implementing it are two different things, right? And so I don't believe that you must give up your favorite foods, but it's the amount that you eat and how often that you eat it, okay? Because there's time, usually, especially for me, you're eating things that you only get at that time of the year. So why would you not want to enjoy it? And why would you feel like you need to miss out? So the key is having control over the amount that you eat, okay? And that's a little hint as to what holiday mistake number 3 is. So it's the key is controlling the amount that you eat, not that you're eating it, okay? But controlling the amount of it. All right. And see here, I think I see some comments. Let me see here. Let me look through here. So I appreciate those who are tuning in. Let me go up here and see. So relatable. So I'm not able to see your name. I'm trying to find where your name is, but thank you for tuning in to say that it is very relatable. So thank you. That is good to know. So let me go back and maybe I can find the right window where I can find your comment, but I will keep looking for those comments by name. And so where do you usually fall when you go into the new year? Okay. Are you usually gain weight during when you go into the new year? Have you maintained your weight? Have you got to that point where you're able to maintain, or do you lose? Some people do lose. I have plenty of clients who do lose weight during the holiday season and they enjoy what they're eating. So where do you fall? I've managed to maintain, but it took some time to get there. That was not always the case. Okay. That was not always the case. All righty. And so goals for the new year. Okay. Goals for the new year. Oh, let me go back one. I think I skipped the banner. Okay. So goals for the new year. So let's talk about some goals for the new year. And so we want to, before getting into holiday mistake number 3, I do want to share more insight on how you can enjoy your holiday goodies without putting on a single pound. And so if you like me, you want to enjoy the holiday food, right? You want to have fellowship, you want to have fun, and you don't want to have it sitting on you in 2023. And so for me, I actually had that additional little thing that I kind of have to think about, and that's my blood pressure, okay? Because usually I'm eating foods that are high in sodium, like the dressing and the mac and cheese, and sometimes the ham. It just kind of depends, but those foods are very high in sodium, and I want to enjoy them as well. And then you have others who have to think about the sugar levels. You have some that has to think about cholesterol. So we have all these different things going on. And so we're around all these type of foods, and in most cases, they're only prepared at that time of the year, right? So we want to enjoy them. So how do you do that? How do you do that? And so what are your weight goals? Let's talk about what are your weight goals going into the new year. Do you want to go into the new year lighter? Do you want to go into the new year at your current weight, or whatever your weight is going into maybe Christmas? Do you want to come out of Christmas doing that? So that's really what it's all about. And so let's take a little pause before we go into holiday mistake number 3. And so if you've been noticing, the epidemic as far as the weights going up, it is big and it's bad. We know that. Okay. But we want to talk about, well, how can you not feel like you're burning out, or it's a fatigue, or it's an extra weight, or it's depression? So ask yourself those questions. Like, what are some of the things that's causing you to feel like you're putting on weight? And for many of us, it's we don't really take care of ourselves, or we don't think about the self-care aspect. We're so worried about, we want to take care of others, and that's a great thing, but sometimes we lose sight of ourselves in the midst of all that. And so that's very typical over the summer. Over the holiday months is that. And so we find ourselves, we overcommitting, we're doing, all these different things. And so one of the things that I'm offering is the opportunity for you to get some self-care in. And so when we are calling these health accelerator sessions. And what these are, I'm opening slots into my calendar where I am speaking with you one-on-one. And I'm speaking with you one-on-one to talk about what can we do to help build those healthier eating habits? What can you do to get you to that point where you can still have all your commitments, but how do you still take care of yourself in the process? And so how do we build those habits? How do you eat healthier? How do you lose weight? So we talk about things like that. And then we also want you to have some tangible next steps as to what to do when we get off the phone call. So you actually have something to implement. So we're going to have a conversation, but we're also going to talk about, well, what can you do the next day? And that's a good thing. And so, and that's really what it's all about. And so you have an opportunity to grab a spot on my calendar to have this conversation. So you're going into the holiday with the opportunity to have a team with you or some support with you. And so, and I know all this because I've been there and I've done that. So, in terms of different ways to lose weight and to keep it up. And so anything you say won't shock me. You know, I've had a lot of bad habits. I still have some bad habits. So it's not about being perfect. It's just about staying in the game and knowing how to stay in the game. And so it is 100% no judgment zone call. Is really about helping you to not fear the holidays and to go into the holiday season with a little bit more confidence. Okay. So check that out and grab a spot on my calendar. I have a few slots left. So I had to open 10 altogether. So I have a few slots left and we're going to do these for about another week. So jump on the calendar and let's have a conversation. And so let's talk about holiday mistake number 3, okay? And how to avoid the weight gain and how to stay on track, okay? So let's talk about number 1. So holiday mistake number 1 was skipping breakfast, okay? So if you wasn't able to watch that replay, talk about that. Breakfast is very important. One of the biggest mistakes that people make on the big day because they want to save calories. So there's a way to save calories to where you don't go into that big meal starving, okay? So that's very important. Number 2, going back for seconds, okay? And that usually is a piggyback off of the first one because if we haven't eaten breakfast, we skip meals, then we go into that feast starving, and then we eat fast, and then we want seconds, and then usually we're stuffed by the time we do that. And so that is what kind of leads to that domino effect. So there's a healthy way and a sane way to save calories. So we don't want to starve ourselves doing that. And so what do we do instead? So depending on the time of your holiday festivities and the feast, eating adequately prior sets you up for success. So it keeps your cravings at bay and it allows you to not go into that meal starving to where you just don't even care. You just want to eat and you want to eat everything in sight. So that's what we want to do. So some practical tips so that commonly fall through the cracks during that time is having breakfast. That is essential. Then if your holiday feast is like at 3:00, then you still should have lunch. You should have something to eat to lunch. And then let's say maybe it's later in the day. It's later in the day and you want to make sure that your meals, let me back up. Let's make sure that your meals have your macros. Okay, so you don't want to just have vegetables. You don't want to just have protein. You want to make sure that there are some carbs in there, some healthy whole grain carbs are even better. So to accompany your proteins and your fats and even your vegetables, okay? That's how we get off track and we don't realize that, okay? So that is what's the key for that third mistake that we make. We want to make sure that we're fueling ourselves throughout the day or throughout the day leading up to that feast, okay? Whether you're going out, whether it's in, you want to make sure that you're not starving yourself, okay? And so that being said, let's see here. Where do you fall? Okay, so on the day of the holiday, so let's think about Thanksgiving. Okay, that's one that's coming up next. So we'll think about Thanksgiving. Do you find yourself skipping meals on that day? Do you eat normal? Okay, that's different for different people, but do you eat normal? Or do you snack all day? A lot of times the cook grazes, right? They graze all day and kind of nibble on this, nibble on that. But what are you doing on the day of the holiday? Okay, so think about that. And this is something that you can take away to do a little differently for Thanksgiving. Even though when we get closer to Thanksgiving, I'm gonna have a specific live on surviving the holiday, surviving Thanksgiving, and not feeling like you have to feel so stuffed after the holidays. But where do you fall? And that's something, maybe skip meals, have breakfast if you know that you have a history of skipping meals. You know, eat normal, depending on if it's an evening dinner, make sure you have lunch. You know, so we want to make sure that you're fueling yourself. Okay. And so the big take home message. So knowing the tricks of the trade to staying on track during the holidays are key. So you want to enjoy the holidays. You want to feel free to eat what you want to eat without feeling like you have to miss out and feel deprived. You don't want to feel overwhelmed. You don't want to feel sluggish, because many of us were running around doing more things, trying to make the holiday festive for everybody else. We want to prevent the weight gain. Okay. I usually say maintain. You come out of the holidays maintaining, you've done a great job. Okay. Don't focus on weight loss per se if you're not at that point. Okay. You don't want to stress yourself out, because it can be stressful if you're not mentally ready for that type of a goal. So you want to set yourself up for success. And so never lose sight of the matters that matter. So number one, holiday mistake number one, don't forget about you during the holiday season. Okay. That's the breakfast part. Number two, holiday mistake number two, stay on track during the holiday season. So it's the leftovers that we tend to get us in trouble. Going back for seconds tends to get us in trouble. And then today, avoiding the holiday weight gain by preventing yourself or allowing yourself to get too hungry. Okay. Treat it as a normal day. You just have different food. That takes time to get there. Okay. I didn't get there overnight either. All right. So this is a perfect time to jumpstart your weight loss and health goals before going into the holidays, so that when you're going into the holidays, you still can maintain some of those same principles while you're enjoying different food, not having to, okay, I'm going to, stop eating healthy because it's the holidays. So it's all about marrying the two. Okay. It's all about marrying the two worlds. Okay. And before we take off and I let you go, definitely, I want to remind you the applications are rolling in. So take a look at us having a conversation, so we can say, hey, what's a good plan for you to help you to build healthy eating habits, especially going into the holiday season. Okay. And so, because we don't want to fear going into that or feel like we have to miss out. So grab a spot on my calendar, and I look forward to speaking with you. So this concludes what I have for this week's weekly dose of your nutrition and wellness news for your mind, your body, and your soul. Thank you for tuning in. I am Sandra, your RDN. And next week, we're going to take a slight detour. We're getting a little closer to Halloween. So I do a special series on candy coated madness. So trunk or treat, give me something good to eat. So stay tuned for that. We'll talk about all our favorite candies, especially those growing up as a child that we may not even see today. So bye for now, and have a great rest of your day. Thank you for tuning in, and be blessed.